So we're here, Raphael De Leon, and you did Mama Don't Go. What made you come up with this film, this idea?
Well, I'm a huge horror fan, and
Hmm.
I've always been to
Yeah,
horror films, and I've done a lot of short horror films over the years.
yeah,
So, on one hand, it's me continuing in that genre, but also in the summer of 2018, my mother had kind of like a near-death experience, and
hmm,
so that whole thing sort of inspired this particular film because it sort of drove me to write a short centered around a character that's on the brink of losing a loved one and just being in that sort of life or death situation, and there's the struggle of what to do and how to go about it. So I took that, put it in a horror setting, and as far as like horror subgenres is concerned, I I'm a big fan of home invasion films. So
oh yeah,
this is more specifically a home invasion short horror film. So
yeah, yeah. It's
yeah,
like a thriller-ish, thriller type
right,
horror-ish.
right, correct.
Yeah, I was trying to place it too. I was like, it's got a lot of elements in it. So, and
Mhm.
it just moves, man, because it's short and it just I
Yeah,
love those kind of movies. By the way,
yeah, me
short to
too.
the point, and then just like out there, horror, crazy, and we have we get quite a few of those actually. Like
Yeah, I
the
mean, like to me, that's like the best kind of short to me. It's just like it's just it doesn't waste any time, and it's just like and just gets going, gets to the meat of things, and
you know,
yeah,
I think because you just make people want more, and then that's how you get deals.
yeah.
Like, I want to see more of that. Do this for me or that. So that's the best. But yeah. So uh, where did you film that exactly?
In the Bronx, um,
Oh yeah,
Bronx, New York. So that's where I'm from. So yeah,
nice. Yeah, not too far. Not too far.
right, right.
I was just in New York. Yeah, I saw Batman. I was in Yonkers, so
Oh,
saw
awesome.
Batman the other night there. So I was just
Awesome.
visiting and go to like White Plains a lot. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm from originally. My family's from the Bronx. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, yeah. So Gun Hill Brewing, love that place. Did you ever go Gun Hill Brewing? I love it. I love it
I
there.
don't think I've been there. No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really good. It's really
yeah.
good. Every time I go, I'm like, oh my god, I love it. I love it. But, yeah. Uh, so how'd you go about getting the actors for the film?
I put up casting notices, and for the four roles in the film, and yeah, just held auditions and just had actors come in, um, and luckily got four great actors, and
Mhm.
yeah, so it made my job easier. So,
Did you film this during the pandemic times?
no,
It finished before?
this was 2019, so
Mm.
right before. Yeah,
Did you get to see it in film festivals, like live,
I
or
did.
because I think
Luckily,
it's probably that.
I got to go to two
Mm.
in-person festivals, like right before the pandemic hit, and then before everything went virtual.
Yeah,
So I was lucky that I was able to do that.
yeah. A lot of people aren't. They're like, "This is the first time we're seeing it live." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Really?
yeah.
It's been a while now." But yeah, yeah, a lot of people are. So that's good that you got to see that. So that's pretty cool. What's next for it?
For this film or the
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for the film, yeah.
it's still it's still playing festivals. Like
Because horrors go for a while. Like there's so many
yeah,
horror.
yeah, and so I'm fortunate that it's still going strong, and that it's pretty much like in its third year of being on the circuit, and it's starting to wind down a bit, but I have a couple more screenings coming up, but yeah, it's been great.
And not too far away either, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
in Jersey City, so that's pretty good. Uh, yeah. So when you're editing something like this, that's intense, and did you have a lot more film and you purposely cut it short, or uh, was it not that much film to begin with? Do you have like a
Um,
lot of stuff you could almost make it a lot longer, or and you're just like
not
you make it cut short?
not really. No, that was pretty much it. I mean, pretty much everything that I was intending to shoot, and I was
Mm,
able to shoot. Luckily, during production, we were, you know, as always. you're always short on time and everything. So there
Yeah.
was a couple things I had to cut down in terms of like the shot list and everything, but it wasn't anything important.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it's like what you see is pretty much everything that I was planning out.
And what about like bringing the sound in, and because there's a lot of sounds and uh throughout, like it's really pretty clear and crisp, and it's hard to do that sometimes.
Yeah,
We get a lot of films that you hear a lot of sounds all over the place. So, do you work a lot with that in the editing or there on set?
true. Well, yeah, a lot of it, sound is very important. So in pre-production, I make sure that I'm well prepared with,
Mhm.
okay, what sound am I going to have to get during production? What sound am I going to get afterwards? And then so when it comes to afterwards, I record pretty much all the sound effects myself, and everything. So, and, just like, for example, you have all those horror-esque sound effects, like
Yeah,
when you want, stuff like, like flesh and blood and stuff, and getting the fruit and watermelon and kind of messing around with that, and grabbing peppers for bone cracking, and celery sticks and stuff like that. So it's messy, but it's fun.
that's
And
fun to do that kind of stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's and the sound, obviously all that takes a while, but it's you got to do it, and it's important to get right.
absolutely. Yeah, I always say that, especially like in a horror film, you got to get that sound down. You really got to get it down
Definitely.
and make it good. So yeah. So what's up? What's up next? Have you done anything during the pandemic, or you have anything else that you're working on really soon?
Yeah, well, during the pandemic, I was working on writing I've been also trying to focus on writing feature scripts. So there's a one particular script that I was focusing on writing during the pandemic that was based off of a previous short of mine, and also in the horror genre. And so
Yeah.
still working on that, gathering feedback, and because hopefully my intention is to have something like that be like my first feature film that I can hopefully get off the ground pretty
Yeah.
soon. But in the meantime, I also directed another horror short uh, last December. So I just finished putting that together now, and I'm starting to submit that to festivals. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that does. And yeah,
Do you ever go to the horror cons before? The horror
horror
cons is
cons.
yeah.
Um, I've only, it still surprises me that I've only been to I think one horror con, and that was in 2009 at the Jacob Javits Center, and
Oh.
uh, that's where I actually met Anthony DeFalco, the makeup artist for Mama Don't Go, and I've worked with him many times.
Oh, well.
And yeah, but this film has also screened at some horror cons and got some coming up too. So hopefully I can make another trip out.
Yeah, they're always fun. They always make they're like the most fun is to go to a horror con. It's just always a great time. I go to so many of
Yeah,
them. And then I end up doing some Q&As with people or doing things like this. But
right.
I teach film, and we do my kids for some reason like to make horror shorts. So it's all like student shorts all over the place. And we
Awesome.
always go to these cons and we meet all these horror people. So it's like I'm stuck in this genre. That's all I do is horror.
Right, right, right.
So but it's fun. I love it. So what about you going outside of horror? Are you going to stick with the horror realm, or do you ever think of doing like just a straight drama or a comedy?
I've done a horror comedy before, but so that's the only time that I've kind of deviated away from the more like serious kind of horror. Um, but yeah, like horror is pretty much my genre, is my
Yeah.
favorite genre, and the genre that I like to work in, and that I would want my first feature film to be in. But I never say never to anything else.
Yeah,
It just depends on the material and if I feel connected to it.
absolutely. Is there anything you want to promote? Do you have any like websites or any films out there that people can watch online?
Yeah, I have films online on my website. It's just my name, rafaeldeleon.com. And and I'm on, social media, Rafael DeLeon Jr. Um, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I have some films on there to check out.
When you're saying you worked with a makeup artist squad, what about your DPs? Do you work with the same DP all the time, or do you DP it?
I've worked with several different several different DPs, so it hasn't been very consistent.
Mm,
So yeah, it's been like the opposite. Like I've worked with the same makeup artist for a long time,
yeah,
and DP side has been very different. And actually, the most recent film that I just did, I actually I shot it myself. I shot it myself and just kind of dived in because I really wanted to challenge myself
yeah,
and and grow from the experience. So I felt that that project was perfect for me to do that. So and I'm glad I did it because
awesome. That's awesome. So do you like? Do you have a lot of people on set when you're doing like a smaller film, or not too many?
no,
Uh,
I keep the crew very small,
So
very
it's
small.
good during these times,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
keep it small, right?
it's great. Yeah, I've always done that, and so in these times, it's definitely important to keep it as small as possible, and
Mm,
yeah, only what I consider to be essential for that particular project. So yeah,
awesome. Well, thanks for giving me a few minutes here today, and
thank you.
hopefully we'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be there Sunday. Thank you for having me and having the film. Also, I really appreciate it. And I'm always glad to make it out and support local festivals that I could, especially ones that I could make out that
Yeah.
travel to and everything. And it's right across the bridge for me. So
It's
yeah,
not too far, and we have a lot of fun. So it's been
right.
a while. Like we actually snuck a couple in there, but they were kind of small. So we're kind of excited to like be there and just talk to
Mm.
people and have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Sounds
we'll
great.
see. I've just been so busy with work that I usually concentrate so much more on it, and I haven't. So it's been a tough one, but we're getting it. We're getting it in there. So,
Great,
but
great.
yeah, thanks for giving me a few minutes, and I'll hopefully get this up sooner or later.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right,
Chris.
great.
Appreciate
Great.
it.
Thanks. Yep. See